Adunni stood at the edge of the forbidden forest, his dark canopy looming ominously overhead. The air was thick with an uncertain silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves and distant creaks of ancient trees. It was said that spirits roamed these woods, guardians of ancient secrets and harbingers of both wisdom and danger. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for the daunting task ahead. The elders had entrusted her with a mission to retrieve a rare magical herb hidden deep within the heart of the forest. This herb, they claimed, possessed the power to reveal the truth and uncover hidden deceits. As Adunni ventured deeper into the forest, the path ahead grew increasingly obscured by tangled roots and gnarled branches. Shafts of pale sunlight filtered through the dense foliage, casting airy patterns on the forest floor. Her heart pounded with a mix of fear and determination as she pressed on. Her senses heightened to every sound and movement around her. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the silence, a melodic yet haunting whisper that seemed to emanate from the very trees themselves. Who dares tread upon these sacred grounds? The voice was ancient, tinged with both curiosity and warning. Adunni halted in her tracks, her pulse quickening. Before her stood a figure cloaked in shimmering green leaves, its eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. It was a spirit of the forest, a guardian tasked with protecting its mystical treasures. "I am Adunni," she spoke with steady resolve, her voice carrying through the quietude of the forest. "I come in search of the rare magical herb, entrusted to me by the village elders to prove my innocence." The spirit regarded her with a mixture of skepticism and intrigue. "Many have come seeking the herb, but few have returned," it intoned critically. "To prove your worth, you must pass my test." Without warning, the forest around Adunni seemed to come alive. Shadows darted between trees, unseen whispers brushing against her ears like fleeting memories. She felt a presence, ancient and powerful, testing her courage and resolve. Adunni's first trial began, a series of challenges designed to test her determination and purity of heart. She navigated treacherous paths, obscured by illusions, resisted the temptation of mirages promising easy escape, and faced her deepest fears manifested in spectral forms. Through it all, Adunni remained steadfast. She drew upon her love for Chibuzor, her faith in the spirit, and the unwavering support of Ola back in the village. Each obstacle contact brought her closer to the heart of the forest, where the rare magical herb awaited. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of trials and tribulation, Adunni stood before the sacred grove, the sanctum where the magical herb blossomed amidst a carpet of glowing flowers. Its fragrance was intoxicating, its petals shimmering with ethereal light. With trembling hands, Adunni plucked the herb, its essence pulsating with ancient wisdom and truth. She held it aloft, feeling its power course through her veins, a symbol of her resilience and unwavering determination in the face of adversity. As she emerged from the forbidden forest, the spirit of a guardian watched silently, its eyes reflecting newfound respect. Adunni returned to the village, the rare magical herb cradled in her hands, ready to face the next trial that awaited her, the trial of the sacred fire, where she would prove her innocence again. Adunni returned to the village with the rare magical herb clutched tightly in her hand. The journey through the forbidden forest had been perilous, filled with hairy whispers and unseen dangers. Yet she emerged victorious, her resolve strengthened by the spirit of Chibuzor guiding her steps. As dogs settled over the village, casting long shadows across the square, the villagers gathered once more. They stood in a circle around the bed of hot coals, their hair thick with anticipation and tension. Adunni stood at the edge of the fairy path, her heart pounding with both fear and determination. Elder Ngozi, draped in traditional robes adorned with intricate symbols, stood at the head of the coals. Her presence commanded respect and hail as she raised her hands, signaling the beginning of the trial. Adunni, daughter of the Yoruba, wife of Chibuzor, you now face the trial of the sacred fire, she declared, her voice carrying over the murmurs of the crowd. Adunni took a deep breath, steadying herself against the overwhelming heat radiating from the coals. The flame danced before her, casting flickering shadows on the faces of the villagers who watched in tense silence. "Step forth," Adunni, Elder Ngozi instructed, her eyes fixed on Adunni with a mixture of solemnity and encouragement. With every eye in the village trained on her, Adunni summoned her courage and stepped onto the first glowing ember. The searing heat beat into her bare feet, sending waves of pain through her body. She winced but did not falter, her determination fueling her forward. Each step felt like an eternity as Adunni navigated the path of fire, reciting ancient incantations taught to her by her grandmother. The words flowed from her lips with a fervor born of desperation and conviction, each syllable a plea to the spirit for guidance and protection. The villagers watched in awe and admiration as Adunni reached the end of the path unscratched. Beads of sweat glistened on her brow, and her breathing was labored, but her spirit remained unbroken. Elder Ngozi approached Adunni, her expression softened with respect. "You have faced the fire with courage and purity of heart, Adunni. The spirit have witnessed your trial," she proclaimed, her voice carrying the weight of authority. Adunni's heart swelled with a mixture of relief and pride. She had endured the trial of the sacred fire, proving her bravery and steadfastness in the face of adversity. The doubts that had clouded the villagers' minds began to dissipate, replaced by a newfound sense of awe and respect for Adunni's strength. As the villagers dispersed, whispers of admiration and support followed Adunni's every step. She felt a hand on her shoulder. It was Ola, a loyal friend, her eyes shining with pride. "You have shown us all what true courage looks like, Adunni," Ola whispered, her voice filled with unwavering faith. Adunni nodded, grateful for Ola's unwavering support. With each trial faced and overcome, she moved closer to uncovering the truth that would vindicate her and honor Chibuzor's memory. The path ahead was still fraught with challenges, but Adunni walked it with renewed determination and a heart strengthened by the triumphs she had faced. Throughout the village, whispers of Adunni's remarkable resilience and fortitude spread like wildfire. Many had doubted her ability to endure the trials set forth by the elders, yet Adunni had surpassed all expectations. She had ventured into the forbidden forest and returned with a rare magical herb, braving its haunted depths with a courage that stirred admiration even among the most skeptical villagers. When she walked across the path of burning coals, her determination was evident to all who witnessed the ordeal. The village began to whisper, perhaps she truly was innocent. Now, in the heart of the village, at the sacred shrine, where generations had sought wisdom and solace from the ancestral spirits, Adunni prepared herself for the final trial. The air was thick with anticipation and reverence as torches flickered, casting dancing shadows upon the ancient stone walls. Elders draped in ceremonial robes chanted ancient incantations that echoed through the night, invoking the spirit to manifest and pass judgment. Adunni knelt before the shrine, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. The spirits were powerful and wise, set to see into the depths of one's soul, discerning truth from falsehood with uncanny precision. She closed her eyes, offering silent prayers to the ancestors of both Yoruba and Igbo lineage, seeking their guidance and protection in this pivotal moment. As the chanting reached its crescendo, a palpable stillness settled over the shrine. Adunni felt a shift in the air, a subtle change that signaled the presence of the ancestral spirit. The flickering torchlight seemed to dim momentarily, as if bound in reference to their ancient wisdom. Then, like a veil lifting, the spirit manifested before Adunni. Ethereal figures shimmering in the torchlight, their eyes glowing with ancient knowledge. Adunni's breath caught in her throat as she met their gaze, feeling the weight of centuries of wisdom bearing down upon her. Elder Ngozi, the spiritual leader among the elders, stepped forward, her voice steady yet filled with reverence. "Great spirit of our ancestors," she intoned, her words carrying the weight of centuries-old respect. "We call upon you to witness this trial. Adunni, daughter of the Yoruba and the wife of Chibuzor of the Igbo, stands before you. She seeks your judgment and your wisdom." The spirit regarded Adunni with solemnity, their presence a testament to the sacred bond between the living and the ancestral realm. Adunni felt their scrutiny, their gaze penetrating her very being, searching for any trace of deceit or wrongdoing. With steady resolve, Adunni spoke, her voice clear and unwavering, despite the trembling of her limbs. "Great Spirit," she began, her words carrying the weight of her innocence and her determination to clear her name. "I stand before you with a pure heart and a steadfast devotion to truth. I did not harm Chibuzor, my beloved husband. I loved him dearly, and I seek only justice and vindication." The Spirit listened, their expressions unreadable yet attentive. Moments stretched into eternity as the village held its collective breath, awaiting the Spirit judgment, a judgment that would determine Adunni's fate and the restoration of our honor. Finally, Elder Ngozi raised her hand, signaling the conclusion of the trial. "The Spirit has spoken," she announced, her voice resonating with authority and reverence. "They have seen into Adunni's heart and found it free of malice and deceit. She is innocent of the accusations brought against her." A collective sigh of relief swept through the gathered villagers, followed by murmurs of hate and respect. Adunni's eyes filled with tears of gratitude and relief as she bowed her head in reference to the ancestral spirit, thanking them silently for their wisdom and their judgment. As the torchlight flickered once more, casting a warm glow over the shrine, Adunni felt a weight lift from her shoulders, a burden of suspicion and doubt that had plagued her since Chibuzor's tragic death. She rose from her knees, her spirit renewed and her faith in justice reaffirmed. The villagers gathered around Adunni, offering words of support and apologies for the doubt cast upon her. Ola, her loyal friend, embraced her tightly, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks. "You did it," Adunni, Ola whispered, her voice filled with pride and admiration. "You proved them all wrong." Adunni smiled through her tears, her heart overflowing with gratitude for the village that had stood by her side and for the spirit that had granted her the chance to reclaim her honor. As she looked out upon the faces of her community, bathed in the gentle light of dawn breaking over the horizon, Adunni knew that she had not only endured the trials of innocence, but had emerged stronger and wiser than ever before. Few days after Adunni was vindicated by the ancestral spirit, Elder Ngozi called for a gathering of the villagers at the sacred shrine, where the ancestral spirits were to reveal their final judgment. The atmosphere was tense, whispers of anticipation and uncertainty filling the air. As the villagers assembled around the sacred shrine, Elder Ngozi, adorned in traditional regalia and holding a sacred staff, addressed them with a voice that carried both solemnity and authority. Her words were a call to the spirit, invoking their presence and wisdom to unveil the truth that had endued the community since Chibuzor's tragic death. "People of Amapoke," Elder Ngozi began, her voice echoing across the gathering, "we have witnessed Adunni undergo the sacred trials with courage and humility. She has faced the test of fire, forest, and spirit, guided by her steadfast faith in justice and truth, and she has been proven innocent by the Great Spirit." The villagers listened intently, their eyes fixed on Elder Ngozi, awaiting the spirit judgment that will reveal the true cause of Chibuzor's untimely death, knowing fully well it wasn't killed by Adunni, neither was it a natural death. With the guidance of the ancestors, Elder Ngozi continued, her gaze turning to the sacred shrine where the spirits were invoked. "We shall now unveil the truth that remained hidden in shadows." Silence descended upon the gathering as Elder Ngozi performed ancient rituals, calling upon the ancestral spirit to reveal the event surrounding Chibuzor's untimely demise. The air grew still, charged with anticipation, as the spirit's presence was felt among the villagers. Moments passed like eternity until finally, a collective gasp swept through the crowd as the spirit spoke through Elder Ngozi. Their voices, echoes of the past, carried the weight of judgment and revelation. "The death of Chibuzor was not by natural means," Elder Ngozi proclaimed, her voice resonating with authority. "It was a deed of treachery and deceit, orchestrated from within our midst. Eze here killed his own brother. Eze, driven by jealousy and greed, conspired with the cab driver to knock down Chibuzor in order to inherit his wife, wealth, and status." The villagers' eyes widened in shock and disbelief, their gazes shifting towards Eze, who stood among them, his face contorted with fear and guilt. Adunni's heart sank as she realized the truth that the spirit had unveiled. The spirit have shown us, Elder Ngozi continued, her words piercing the heavy silence, that Eze, in his ambition, conspired to accuse Adunni falsely, tarnishing her name and causing a great injustice. Anger and outrage erupted among the villagers, their voices rising in condemnation of Eze's betrayal. Adunni stood silently, tears of relief and sorrow streaming down her cheeks as the weight of vindication and loss washed over her. Elder Ngozi raised her staff, silencing the crowd, her eyes locking with Eze's. The spirit has spoken, she declared solemnly. Justice shall be served according to our traditions and laws. As the villagers surrounded Eze, their anger palpable, Adunni felt a hand on her shoulder, a gesture of support and solidarity from Allah, our unwavering friend. Together, they watched as the community grappled with the revelation that had reshaped their lives and restored Adunni's honor. Thus, the spirit judgment brought not only justice but also a renewed sense of unity and strength into the village of Amapoke, where truth prevailed over darkness and Adunni's innocence shone brightly once more. The village square burst with tension as the villagers gathered, their faces etched with anger and disbelief. At the center stood Eze, once the respected elder brother of Chibuzor, now the accused and despised. His expression was a mask of defiance. Through his eyes betrayed flickers of fear and regret. Elder Obi, flanked by other elders and community leaders, addressed the crowd with solemn authority. Eze, son of our village, you stand accused of the most grievous crimes of killing your own brother. Chibuzor, to usurp his wealth and status, the spirit have revealed the truth and your deceit has been laid bare before us all. The villagers murmured in outrage, their voices blending into cacophony of condemnation. Women clutched their children closer, shielding them from the unfolding drama, while men exchanged grim nods of confirmation. Adunni watched from the edge of the crowd, her heart heavy with conflicting emotions. Eze's defiance wavered as one of the elders stepped forward, his voice cutting through the tension like a blade. Eze, your greed and jealousy have tarnished our community. You have brought shame upon your family and dishonor upon the memory of your brother Chibuzor. Eze's gaze flickered towards Adunni, his eyes briefly meeting hers. In that moment, Adunni saw a flash of guilt and a remorse, a fleeting acknowledgement of the devastation he had wrought upon their lives. Nkechi, Adunni's sister-in-law, stepped forward, her head bowed in shame. I was complicit in Eze's plot, she confessed, her voice trembling with guilt. I allowed envy and fear to cloud my judgment. Please forgive me. Adunni's heart ached at Nkechi's admission. She had once trusted her as a sister, never suspecting the betrayal that lay beneath. Yet, amidst her sorrow, Adunni found a glimmer of compassion. Nkechi's remorse was genuine, a testament to the depths of Eze's manipulation. Elder Ngozi, known for her fairness and compassion, spoke next. Eze, Nkechi, your actions have caused great pain and suffering. For your crimes against this community and the memory of Chibuzor, you shall face justice according to our traditions. The elders deliberated briefly before rendering their judgment. Eze was to be banished from the village, his name stricken from the ancestral records, a fate worse than death for one whose identity was rooted in his family's honor. Nkechi will undergo a period of cleansing and repentance, seeking forgiveness through acts of service to the community. As the villagers dispersed, murmuring their disbelief and relief, Adunni remained rooted to the spot. The weight of justice served was both a burden and a balm to her wounded soul. She felt a hand on her shoulder, Ola, a loyal friend, offering silent support. Together they watched as Eze and Nkechi were led away, their footsteps echoing against the stone-paved square. Adunni's gaze lingered on the horizon, where the sun dipped below the distant hills, a symbol of hope and renewal after the darkness that had gripped their village. In that moment, amidst the shadows of grief and loss, Adunni found solace in the knowledge that justice had prevailed. Chibuzor's spirit, she believed, would finally rest in peace, his memory honored by the truth that had been uncovered. The village square buzzed with anticipation as the elders, adorned in traditional robes, gathered once more. Adunni stood before them, her eyes reflecting a mix of weariness and quiet resolve. Around her, the villagers watched with a mixture of curiosity and guilt, their earlier suspicion now tempered by the weight of truth. Elder Ngozi stepped forward, her presence calming yet commanding. It is with great solemnity and humility that we declare Adunni innocent of all accusations brought against her. Her words echoed through the square, eliciting murmurs of relief and remorse from the villagers. Adunni's heart swelled with a mixture of emotions, relief, gratitude, and a lingering sorrow for the love of her beloved Chibuzor. She met the elder's gaze with a steady resolve, knowing that her innocence had been proven and justice was finally served. The elders continued, their voices resonating with authority and compassion. To Adunni, Elder Obi proclaimed, "We offer our sincerest apologies for the suffering and indignity you have endured. May the Spirit continue to guide and protect you as you rebuild your life." The villagers, humbled by their rush to judgment and moved by Adunni's unwavering courage, stepped forward one by one. They offered heartfelt apologies, their words a balm to Adunni's wounded spirit. Some brought gifts of reconciliation, baskets of fruits, woven mats, and tokens of solidarity. Ola, Adunni's loyal friend, embraced her tightly, tears of joy and relief streaming down her cheeks. "You have shown us all the true meaning of strength and resilience, Adunni," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. Adunni stood tall amid the outpouring of support, her spirit lifted by the vindication and forgiveness of her community. She knew that while the scars of injustice would linger, the bonds of unity and compassion forged in adversity would sustain her. As the sun began its descent over the horizon, casting a warm glow over the village square, Adunni felt a renewed sense of hope and purpose. With her head held high and her heart at peace, she took her first steps towards a future filled with promise, guided by the enduring strength of her spirit and the unwavering support of those who believed in her innocence. The early morning mist hung low over the village cemetery as Adunni made her way through the rows of unweathered tombstones. She carried a basket of freshly picked flowers, bright yellow sunflowers and delicate white lilies, Chibuzor's favorite. Her heart felt heavy, yet strangely tight, a mix of sorrow and newfound resolve guiding her steps. At last, she reached Chibuzor's grave, marked by a simple yet dignified headstone. She knelt down reverently, placing the flowers in front of the stone. Tears welled up in her eyes as memories of their love flooded her mind. Moments of laughter, shared dreams, and the warmth of his embrace. "Chibuzor," she whispered, her voice barely above a whisper, yet echoing with deep emotion. "My love, I have faced the trials, and justice has been served. Your spirit guided me through the darkest hours, and for that, I am forever grateful." She paused, taking a deep breath to steady herself. "I promise to honor your memory, Chibuzor. I will live my life with strength and dignity, as you would have wanted. Your love will always be a beacon of light in my heart." A gentle breeze rustled through the trees, carrying with it a sense of peace and acceptance. Adunni felt a weight lift from her shoulders, a burden of grief and uncertainty that had plagued her since Chibuzor's death. In its place, a newfound sense of purpose began to bloom, a resolve to embrace life and the challenges with courage. As she stood up, a ray of sunlight broke through the clouds, casting a warm glow over the cemetery. Adunni looked up, her eyes drawn to the horizon where the sun was rising, the start of a new day, a new chapter in her life. With a final glance at Chibuzor's grave, Adunni smiled softly, a tear of gratitude rolling down her cheek. She turned away, walking towards the village with steady steps, her heart lighter than it had been in months. The sun continued its ascent, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold, a breathtaking display of nature's beauty. For Adunni, it symbolized not just the beginning of a new day, but the start of her healing journey, a journey guided by love, strength, and the enduring spirit of Chibuzor. As she walked through the village, she felt the warmth of the sun on her face and the support of her community around her. Adunni knew that although the pain of loss would never fully fade away, she had found the courage to face the future with hope. And so, with Chibuzor's love as a compass and the rising sun as a beacon, Adunni embraced the challenges ahead, ready to forge a new path, one filled with promise, resilience, and the unwavering belief that from every ending there is always a new beginning. Adunni's journey reminds us all that love and resilience can light our path even in the darkest of times. Despite facing unimaginable challenges and the weight of grief, she stood strong, guided by the enduring spirit of her love for Chibuzor. Her story teaches us that from every hardship comes the opportunity for growth, and from every ending, a new beginning. May we all find the strength within ourselves to face our trials with courage and to honor the love we hold in our heart. Just as Adunni did, let us embrace our future with hope and determination, knowing that we have the power to create a life filled with promise and resilience. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating tales. Your support helps us to bring more stories to life. Until next time, stay strong and keep believing in new beginnings.